Okay, let's open this bad boy and check it out. Again, this is a Cuddy and it's by CompoCloset. It was designed specifically for van dwelling, although it can be used for other, applications. Mine's going in my trailer. It is smaller than all the other units on the market, and unlike the other units, it has a carbon filter inside, so you do not have to cut a hole in your wall and run a vent. So let's see what's inside. Ta-da! Toilet. This is your urine diverter, and this is your poop hole. So when you sit, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just going to urinate, you do it here. If any liquids get back here, there's actually a channel here that'll run this into the liquids. This is actually at a little teeny tiny bit of an angle, so it'll run into the liquids container. If you are doing number 2, you open that up, do your business. Now, ladies sometimes do both, and so you can just open it and do them both. Now, let me show you the beautiful insides and how this works. So this is your liquids container, and this is your solids container. And there's this little handle over here. And when you do your business, you don't have to open this. You turn this, and the agitators will turn your solids in with your composting material, and that's how you mix it all up. Now, this is your liquids container. Pretty simple. And to open it and drain it, you just pull this off. You can pour it into a toilet, or you can pour it on a tree or something. However, if you do that, please dilute it. Even if you're going to, anywhere you're going to pour it, dilute it. And put this back on. Now, for your solids, what you do is you make sure these are pointing down. And this can be a little tricky at first. I haven't quite figured it out because of this filter. And yes, I'll probably wear gloves. But here's your solid container with the agitator. So what you do once you pull this out is you can dump it into a bag, in which case most people put the bag around it and then turn it upside down. You can do the same thing into a composting bag, which is better. Both of those can go into the landfill. I do know people that when they get to a place, they dig a trench 6 to 8 inches deep and quite a bit long, and then they actually, when they're cleaning this, they dump it along in the trench and then cover it back up. You can do whatever you want as long as you take care of it appropriately. Now, as you can see, this is the filter. It's a carbon filter, and this is the fan. It runs on electric that you wire into your fuse box. As you can see, it's just a simple regular plug that goes in the back, and 2 wires that run through, I think it's 1.5 amps. It might be just an amp fuse. Now, the good thing about this carbon filter is it's easy to take apart, and the carbon that's in there, when it starts to wear out, you can actually buy the carbon from a pet store. It's the same kind that goes into an aquarium filter. Okay, when it's time to put this thing back together, you just do the opposite. Now, I'm having a little fun with this bucket, getting it in right, but I just think that's because it's new to me, and I have to make sure it's done right. It has to clear the filter, and then it has to go down on the latch, just like that. I'm sure as I use it more, that'll become easier because I'm obviously doing something wrong. Then you take your liquids container, and you put this back in. And then the last thing you have to do is every time you change it, you have to put in your composting medium. And what I'm going to use is coco coir. Now, this is biodegradable, it's raised completely sustainable, so it's good stuff. Now, this package has 5 bricks, and then what this toilet requires is a 1/2 brick. So you just have to break them in half, and then this is actually compressed and dehydrated, so what you need to do is put it in some water and rehydrate it. Now you don't want it to be soaking wet, you just want it to be like moist soil is what it'll feel like, and then that's what you put into the composting section. Now, not everyone does this, but I'm going to. This is food grade diatomaceous earth. What it does is kills flies, among other things. Some people have a problem with flies, and so this will help with that. I personally think it's user error. Now, I haven't seen anything about flies being a problem in the Cuddy, but it has been a problem in some of the other composting units. So that's it. Once you put it back together, you simply shut this, you push your handle back in, and you are ready to go. Now, full disclosure, when I got the unit, it has this little crack in the lid, which was disappointing, but I took some pictures and I sent them to their customer service folks, and that was yesterday afternoon, and when I woke up this morning, I already had a response. They asked me to unpackage everything else and make sure there were no other components that were damaged, which there are not, and they are sending me a replacement lid ASAP. I imagine I'll have it in no time. By the way, their customer service, I give them 5 stars. When I was first looking at the unit, I had some questions that I didn't find answers to in the literature. They were quick to answer those. I was having trouble with the shipping system because I have a post office box and I was putting my PO number in the same line as the address. They just had me move that into the second address line, which sounds stupid, but I never do that. But then it went through just fine, and then when I contacted them with this, I had an immediate response, and they are shipping me a new lid right away. 5 stars. Now, I cannot wait to fill this puppy with the medium and give this bad boy a test.